Hello reception, it's Miss Brisley and Mochi Moo here, and we would like to say Happy World Book Day. In celebration of World Book Day, we thought it would be lovely if we heard an Aboriginal story, as we have been learning about Australia this week. So I'm going to read you two stories today, and they are based on the dreaming. And the dreaming isn't something that happens when you are asleep. That's not the type of dreaming I'm talking about. This is a way that Aboriginal Australians would pass important information on to their families, and they would do this through storytelling. Now, these stories could be about how the world was created, they could be about animals, or even about people and how to do the right thing. So all you need to do is get comfy, like Mochi here, and we're going to read a story together called The Rainbow Serpent. And this is about how the earth was created, how Aboriginal Australians believe the earth was created. So, are we ready? Are you ready? Are you comfy? Not quite. Right, let's get, there we go. Now I think he's a bit tired. There we go, now you're comfy. So, long, long ago, in the dreaming, the earth lay flat and still. Nothing moved and nothing grew. One day, a beautiful snake awoke from her slumber and came out under the ground. The snake was known as the Rainbow Serpent. Why do you think she was called the Rainbow Serpent? Because she's rainbow coloured, of course. She travelled for a very long time, far and wide. As she made her way across the land, her body formed mountains, valleys and riverbeds. The Rainbow Serpent was the dreaming creature who shaped the earth. So can you see the pathway that she's created with her body? After all of her travelling, she grew tired and fell asleep. She curled up and began to sleep. After some rest, she returned to the place where she had first appeared and called out to the frogs, "Come out!" The frogs woke up very slowly because they had so much water in their bellies. What do you think is going to happen next? The Rainbow Serpent tickled their tummies and water began to fill the tracks that the Rainbow Serpent had left. This is how lakes and rivers were formed. After this, water, grass and trees began to grow. All the other animals lived in rocks, on the plains, in the trees and the air began to wake up and follow the Rainbow Serpent. They were all very happy with the earth. The Rainbow Serpent said, "Those who obey will be rewarded. I shall give them a human form, but for those who don't, they will be punished and turned into stone." Oh dear. The tribes of people lived together on the land given to them by the Rainbow Serpent. They knew that the land would always be theirs as long as they took care of it. They believed that no one should ever take it away from them. And if you have a look in the picture, can you see some of the animals that we were learning on Tuesday? The koala, the kangaroo, the snake, frog. Now, that was one story. They're very short stories, but they're very interesting. And I wonder if you can remember what order they go in. Pause the video and maybe see if you could put these pictures in order. Well, if you've had a chance to do that, I'm going to go through the answers now. So the first one was the Rainbow Serpent forming the valleys and rivers with her body. Next, she tickled the frogs' bellies and water came out. Then all the animals flourished. And finally, a message was given that those who looked after the land would be given a human form, and those who disobeyed the rules were turned into stone. Our second and last story of the day is called Tiggerlick, the Frog. And this story is quite a funny one. Once upon a time in a dreaming, there lived a frog called Tiggerlick. Tiggerlick lived in the Woollanby Valley in the creation era. He was a greedy frog. He wanted to be the biggest frog in all the land. One very hot day, Tiggerlick became very thirsty. He wandered down to the billabong, where there was plenty of water. Tiggerlick was so thirsty that he began to drink and drink and drink until all the water in the billabong was gone. When all the other animals came to the billabong for a drink, they discovered there wasn't any water left. They were hot and thirsty too. They knew it was the greedy frog, Tiggerlick, who had drunk all the water. They became very angry with him. The animals knew that they had to get the water back somehow. If they wanted to get all the water out of Tiggerlick and back onto the billabong, they would have to do something. The wise owl suggested that if he laughed, all the water would come out. First, the echidna tried to make him laugh. The echidna rolled down the hill onto the dried billabong. Tiggerlick didn't laugh. I think you should go and make the frog laugh. I think he would find you very funny. Next, the kookaburra, who was perched high up in the gum tree, pretended to fall out. Tiggerlick didn't laugh. After that, the wombat started dancing some very funny moves. Still, Tiggerlick didn't laugh. Oh dear. So, what do you think the animals could do to make the Tiggerlick laugh? Do you have something funny? Do you have a joke or a dance move or an idea that would make him laugh? Let's have a look what they did. The animals were so confused that they didn't know what to do. They were still very thirsty. Finally, the eel decided to give it a try. He danced and danced and danced until he tied himself into a big knot. Suddenly, Tiggerlick's mouth started to move. He could not stop laughing at the eel. He laughed so much that all the water came out and ran back onto the dried up billabong. From that day, Tiggerlick was never greedy again, and he only drank what he needed. The end. I hope you enjoyed those stories, reception. I hope you've had a fantastic day, and from me and Mochi, who definitely could make Tiggerlick laugh because he's been so cheeky, aren't you? We would like to say bye and see you soon.